Hello, so today we just have an off-schedule video basically to talk really briefly about some of the things that you can do to support people in Palestine right now. I'll just talk about some of the things that you can do directly, as well as people that you can follow or websites that you can visit, that sort of thing. So the most important thing that I'm seeing right now that we can do is contact our government officials. Pretty much any country, whether your government has been supportive of the state of Israel or has been someone who's been outspoken in support of Palestine. If so, you can send them your support, and if not, as is the case for most people, contacting all of your representatives is extremely important and really the most important thing that we can do. Even just today, the White House said that they are supporting a pause for humanitarian causes, so it is having some impact. Obviously, Joe Biden is doing terrible things in his interviews, and it's absolutely appalling, but I think the public opinion is having an impact, and so it's very important to continue to work on that. So if you are in the US, I will have links below to resources to send emails and calls every single day. I have been using the 5 Calls app to send voicemails after hours to both of my senators and my House rep, and I have been sending an email to the White House every day, as well as emails to my House reps as well. So there are services that make these really, really easy to do, but the only thing that I will say is make sure, no matter who you're emailing, that you are slightly changing the message, not just using a form letter, because those can be filtered out really easily. So make sure that you are at least making enough changes that it will not get filtered out. I saw as well that there is a petition to get Parliament in the UK to discuss a ceasefire measure as well. So that link will be below. Also, I think it's already reached enough signatures for it to be considered by Parliament, but always good to sign that. And also, contact your MPs. If you're in the UK, contact whatever government official is applicable for you. So that's the most important thing. The second thing would be talking to people that you know in your life, sharing things on social media. That is something that I am seeing from Palestinians that is crucial. Obviously, there would have been no kind of transformation of public opinion without the sharing of things, and that's going to continue to get more and more important as fewer and fewer people in Gaza have the ability to share. As more and more people are losing internet, more and more people are not able to charge their phones even if they have service. So it's very, very important that the voices that are still coming out of Gaza are able to be amplified. So sharing that is extremely important. And then lastly, you can donate. Aid is not getting into Gaza right now, but there are several organizations that have a very good reputation with people in Gaza that have been sharing it. So one is the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund, the Medical Aid for Palestine, and Doctors Without Borders are ones that I have specifically seen mentioned as good organizations to donate to. So especially once that opens back up, very, very important to do. So those are kind of the big things that I am seeing right now. And as far as resources, there's tons of book lists and all kinds of things going around. There are free ebooks that I will have the link to as well. If you want a nonfiction read, or I think there's one fiction audiobook that might still be available that might be for the US only, but all of that will be linked below, as well as a website that has Palestinian films all available for free. And so I know that there are films on Netflix as well. Born in Gaza is one. There's a whole list. So again, I'll have that linked. People to follow. I have 2 posts that I will be showing that are by Instagrammers. So one is people on the ground to follow in Gaza, and I will have some other ones as well. And then there is one on accounts in Spanish to follow, or websites. And I also follow Ionebelarra, who is a Spanish minister of social rights or something like that, who is the person who's kind of gone a little bit viral for publicly asking Spain to, take measures against the state of Israel for war crimes and that sort of thing. So she is posting quite a bit about it as well. For news, I have mostly been getting just plain news from AP, Associated Press. They are relatively, straightforward as far as just news without too much of a spin on it. They do have some headlines that are a little bit questionable, but that is kind of the name of the game. Of course, Al Jazeera is the most on-the-ground reliable source, but I know that they are kind of getting questionably thrown out of Israel as well, so we will see. middleeasteye is another really good Instagram account for news. And then a few people that I have been following that are anti-Zionist Jews who make really good commentary, kind of explaining the perspective of how the mindset is so thoroughly ingrained in not all Jewish people, obviously, but people who are raised to be Zionist. And then, some people obviously leave that mindset, just like, I was raised fundamentalist Christian and I am not currently. Obviously, there is the Jewish Voice for Peace, which is very, very famous organization at this point, but some individuals that I follow, Sim Bookstagrams Badly. This is a creator that I already followed. They're an author, and I really want to read their book, but they have also been making really, really great reels and TikToks kind of explaining some of the history and some of their perspectives about the issue. Interstellar Isabella is another one who's been making really, really great kind of commentary and explanations. And then someone that I just found recently, k.w.bogen, is another person kind of explaining their mental transformation when they learned more about this issue. And they actually, I believe she went on a birthright trip and everything, and so really, really interesting information as well to kind of understand this more thoroughly as someone who, I obviously know quite a few Jewish people, but it's not something that I am intimately familiar with, so I definitely find that perspective really educational as well. I understand this is kind of a departure from my usual content, but these videos are my largest platform, and while I have been very, very active on other platforms and, in kind of smaller ways on here, I just want to make sure that I am reaching the largest amount of people. We will not be discussing the humanity of Palestinians in the comments, so if you make any dehumanizing comments, they will be removed. This is not a place for you to debate whether or not these people deserve to be slaughtered. That is not something that we are going to do here. Nobody's humanity, Jewish, Muslim, Palestinian, Israeli, is going to be cast in doubt here. We're not doing that. If you have genuine questions, then I'm happy to try to point you in the right direction to find answers to those questions. I'm not an expert, but I'm happy to try. But yeah, we will not be debating things. So I think this is very important and something that we will be explaining to future generations how this happened. So thank you for watching, and definitely leave any good resources that you have in the comments.